I'm so sorry. I've been muting, I've been babbling. Oh my god. Now just been for not Jay, or whatever. We call him not in the Ferrari. I'm so sorry for that. I've been muted. Anyway, well then I have to welcome myself as Half Snow is now on the quickest time board with a 20.9. That's quicker than my time I did in tier 3. Of course it is, because I mean, yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, what I was going to say is, hello, welcome, I am Deadpool, your host tonight in live commentary. I'm so sorry for being muted the first part of this qualifying. It was quite interesting with a few drivers going invalidated. But anyway, hello, I'm Cooler Deadpool or Cooler, whatever you want to call me. Today we'll be joined by, or being doing commentaries for PRL's 6th round of this season, if it's round season 4, if someone wants to please correct me on that. And we're racing around Qatar tonight. Amazing circuit. Tier 1 did this, Tier 3 did this on Sunday. And Tier 2 did this on Monday. A few drivers actually going in. Bit bad there for Crawford, as AOT Daniel, the Mercedes driver, has set the fastest lap at 20.9. That's such a fine margin between him and Half Snow. Of course, these guys will also have more time to tweak their setups during this qualifying. There's no parked foam as well, which is one thing I very enjoy or very like about this league. Now, as well, you might hear I've got food because I love this. So any new drivers here, 100% join. You can search these guys up on TikTok, they'll help you out to get in. I think there's also a link tree, PRL link tree. If I'm 100% wrong, I'll join if you're new drivers here. Now we can also look if there's anyone on a lap. No, I don't think Inik is on a lap. I don't know what Leonard, of course. LS3A10. He's not on a lap, but I think he's going to start his lap any minute now, and we'll watch him do his lap. Of course, as I said, going into turn 1 here, you want to be on the purple. Why is that, you may ask? Well, in general, the track is not as bumpy there, and you're not losing as much time as we just saw a load of bumps on the track as well. Anyway, turn 1, tight as possible here, trying to connect with the cornering. You can take this 5th. 4th, of course, more RPM, which causes more speed, but 5th gear, you'll gain more traction. Turn 2 and 3 there, he's been a little bit behind the Ferrari. Turn 4, and it's an invalidation for Leonard there, going into turn 4. We'll wonder what will be said to that after the race, but he's got the Aston now quick and behind, and the Ferrari. Oh, this might be an impediment there for the Ferrari driver. Panda on another lap. I recognise the name there. My early days of sim racing. Of course, I race myself. I race on Sundays in the tier 3, the lowest tier you can get. I wasn't that quick, but I did win my first race in here in Imola, the first ever round, which was broadcasted by Leonard as well. Now let's see what Panda can do here now. Panda did set a lap of a 21.2. I think they're invalidated as well because of the red. We can actually bring the whole telemetry up on the large map so we can see where everybody are. Now he's going to pull into the pits just like I expected. Most drivers are on an out lap. Pickhood here is on a lap now as well. They're pulling into the right hander with the first purple sector. This might be good for the lap here. We need to follow here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He's pulling into turn 8 and turn 9. A little bit wide there. Understeer, to be exact. He's pulling the ERS now. And he's going to go and take the right-handers. Of course, flat out. You don't particularly want to gear down. In a matter of fact, left is the worst thing you can do. This is also flat out, gear down most likely, but that's going to be an invalidation. A little bit of understeering there from the Red Bull driver of Pickard 12 here now. Let's move over. Let's see if anyone else is on the lap. Yes, we've got the Ferrari of Woozy. We've got a yellow sector in sector 3. We've got the Ferrari going a bit slow. I don't think that's a crucial incident. Straight to the car up in for turn 9. Turn 8. And then turn 9. You could have been closer, but it's still good. Amazing stuff. We're actually missing him doing his lap because I pressed away. Anyway, 7 minutes on the clock. We've got a retirement from Snow. He has lost it somewhere. We'll actually follow the Haas to see what actually happened. And sorry, Cola is a little bit sick tonight. He's pulled over to the side. He's crashed. But this is looking promising for Woozy here. Let's see what they can do for a lap time here. And just about coming towards the... They move up to P11 with a 21.8. That's an okay lap. I don't think Leonard, anyone else is on the outlap. We've got the Kick, who's going to join the lap. We'll join them now. We keep an eye on the others in the bottom. 5 people joining. I'd like to say welcome to you, lads. All women. We're going to follow the Kick Sauber of Inik here. He's going to go into turn 1. Very close, a little bit of understeer there. You would really want to be closer to that corner. Turn 2, good stuff on the ERS to try to gain a little bit more momentum in the car. We're moving over now to turn 4 and 5. There is a Rebel up ahead though. That isn't a validation for corner cutting there for the driver in the Kick. But he's still going to continue. You still have time to do another lap. These drivers are struggling. Some of these guys are struggling with the all around of the getting rather impeded. Or cutting or getting track violations. That's something you don't want to have in the race. Unlucky for myself, my race was not the perfect one either. I got a few second time penalties as well. But they're still pushing. I want to see, can we follow anyone else? The Rebel is on an outlap. Woozy's going to go back into the pit. As ART Daniel sets the now quickest time again. That will be the time to beat now. I have a feeling that will not be beaten. Maybe will. He is a quick, amazingly quick driver. Now we've got a yellow sector for the Aston of Panda going a little bit slow. 1 minute, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're back again. We're going to follow Panda for his time now. He is not invalidated. I think we saw 2. As Leonard now sets the second fastest time, this will be a Mercedes front row lockout, hopefully, for this race. Of course, I'm Mercedes as well, so I'm hoping on one team here to win this. And he's going to come across the final line, and he's going to move up to P2 to split the 2 Mercedes from 1 and 2. It's an amazing stuff from the Alpine drop Panda here. Panda in this league is right. I need to check that. We need to have a look here for where Panda is in the standings. If they're a new driver or if they're an old. Panda at the moment is P19 in the standings. That's shocking for a driver coming in now. And there's P2. Of course, this team's got a load of reserves, to be honest. Can't lie. Panda's been... Yeah, Panda was spotted in some other positions as well. They have been signed in, yeah. Now... Leonard is 2 seconds down this lap. They have invalidated though. So... I may excuse me, I've got 2 dogs up here begging for food. I do not like that. Again, everybody's in the pits now. They're going to do their final round. This is crucial for absolutely everybody. We got ART Daniel on pole for the provisional pole for the time being. with a 20.6. We've got Panda not so far behind. They're going into the pits now. That's going to be slow for the driver. I don't think we saw anyone else going in. We've got the Mercedes driver still in the pits. Half Snow is going to pull out, possibly do 2 runs here. One on the fresh tyre and then again on the little bit older tyre. When eventually decrease. Excuse me. Deadpool is a bit sick. It's not good using his voice. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, we'll follow them and we'll see who else goes out on the lap. It's a little bit early to go out, but possibly they're doing a two run. Or they're doing a 1 fail go run, maybe. Something I just made my mind up. Which means they will go out now. If they fail up and feel they're not gaining enough time, because they have set a quite alright time in P4 there. They are with the top drivers. There's not a lot of time separating the top 4, to be honest. Let alone the top 5. Now, this is a very close battle between everybody. Less than 3 tenths is between P5, or a little bit more than 3 tenths. 4 tenths from P4 to P5 to P1. Very close between all the drivers. This, of course, is extremely nice to see. Now, everybody else is going to pull up. This means the Half Snow will have a huge amount of impediment to go through now. A huge amount of traffic. He's got both the Mercedes, one of the Mercedes coming out now. The second one is just going to wait for him. He's going to respect that. Probably Leonard, if I'm not 100% wrong. He's got the Ferrari of Newt or Newt with the second Mercedes driver. Then he's got a few other drivers as well. The Ferrari's going to wait for him to pass, which is amazing. Close, tight cornering. That's amazing stuff. And that could be taken flat out, but that's going to be quicker for purple sector now for the V-Carb driver now. He's going to move up just behind the Mercedes. Little bit of tight, not too tight there, but it still works. Straighten the car out, going into turn 8. Close cornering. Turn 9 is one large carousel move. Close towards the corner. Is that going to be a second purple sector? We're about to find out this lap time. There's a yellow flag just in front. There is an Aston going slow. He will not have time to do another lap. There's still a caution. I think it's the McLaren going a bit slow. Massive amounts of impede. Oh, that's going to be close there. But he's still got a bit of ERS now to run the final straight here. He's going to get an amazing toe from the McLaren here. Where's his going to be put? That gives him provisional pole. Half Snow takes pole by just about 1/10. That's an amazing stuff. He sadly probably won't have time because that's the timer now. Most drivers won't have time. We got who are we going to follow now? The McLaren is not on. Half Snow is retired now. We have with Picker 12. They're too slow to follow them now. And Thomas in the second V-Carb is sadly invalidated, but he's still following the Ferrari. Very closely though. The dirty air from behind and the front of the Ferrari will cause him massive amounts of understeer. But let's follow them now. They are up on their time. That will possibly move them up ahead of Leonard and even Dan. Maybe Panda as well if we're going into Sector 1. Now let's follow the Red Bulls coming in now. Coward will find an improvement, but that's not enough. We'll follow the Williams now. They found an improvement, but that's not enough to move them up positions. The second Red Bull is coming in now. They have also finished. There's nothing they can do. What about the Haas driver? Where is he? The Haas driver found 5/10 in this lap, but that's no improvement. What about the McLaren driver, Dan? Dan is still out on his lap, but there's another McLaren parked up. Poppy's parked up as Leonard sets the fastest time with a 1:24, and ART Daniel comes in behind. It's a Mercedes front row lockout, and that's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing stuff. And this is how it stands, not far between them two. Look at that. So Leonard takes pole, for the Qatar Grand Prix. We then follow up with Daniel, who's just 1700s behind. Half Snow with an amazing lap puts him up in P3. Panda in the Aston follows up in P4, and No in the Ferrari. Then we got Dan Von in the McLaren, P6. We need to hurry up. Innick, P7. Newt, P8. Coward, or whatever, P9. TTUB in the Williams, P10. And that's about the top 10. I didn't have time because I yapped about the other drivers. Now, normally there's a time wait here for all the leagues. I think they normally do run it, but we're just going to watch the pit. There's 7 people here. Welcome. We're just about to start the race now. This will be a fine racing here. I've got some nice food this one, so I'd recommend to get your popcorn. I'd get your drinks, and I would sit, relax with a nice blanket and watch this, because this is about to get interesting. We've got a Mercedes front row lockout, which we love to see, to be honest, since I am a bit biased towards Mercedes. Well, not biased towards. I'm for Mercedes, since I'm both a Formula 1 Mercedes fan. I get to drive in Tier 3. So I naturally support Mercedes for this race. But then again, we're going to keep this neutral. We're going to keep this as professional as possible. Oh, God. My throat's really dry. Maybe not the best time to do commentary, but who cares? Now, everybody's going to watch in. There's nothing really I can do here. I wish I had a PC. Anyway, we're going to have 5 red, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing, boys. Leonard gets a little bit of a rolling start. Position being made. Mercedes still stay 1-2. Panda and the Ferraris are battling up ahead. Now going into turn 2 is still more or less the same order. Except we've got Red Bull retiring. Coward has lost it. He's been spun or spun himself. But their race is still not over yet. They can still regain the time they've lost. Anyway, Mercedes is still the same, and Half Snow is trailing up behind the 2 Mercedes drivers. Possible strategies for this race, of course, is the hard to medium, which is probably the most known strategy here. We got the Ferraris battling behind. We'll tune in with them. As Newt gets past, he's gone off the ERS. But that doesn't mean No will still fight him. Now, moving behind, we'll follow the McLaren of Dan Vodo. He was doing well in qualifying. He's dropped down a few positions, if not 100% wrong. The Kick Sauber is also running up behind. As there's a battle between the Williams and the Aston, as the Williams passes just before the quick right-handers. We can also put up a little bit of a telemetry to see, so I don't mess up the cornering. I think no more else positions do made, except for the Aston going, Kicks out, we're going a bit wide. Mels in the Aston is going to look a bit in towards the inside, go for an amazing send, and he's going to move up into, oh, there's a bit of contact between the 2 drivers there. That's not going to stop, though, TTU by to go past. He's following right behind in the slipstream. We're going to move over to the McLarens, as Poppy's going to get overtake the Williams again after that little bit crucial move there. but Dan, excuse me, TTU by, and then we got Ghosted Car in front here as well. Poppy's getting pushed all over. I thought he was Mercedes, but I think he's not racing with Mercedes anymore. No, he's racing Tier 2. Oh, a little bit of a recorrection there. He's lost him a load of positions there. Oh no, that's a bit of a shame there for the Mercedes Tier 2 driver. Now, Mr. DeField, has been a little bit of a gap has been formed by everybody. We're expecting this, but few drivers between the top 6 and to top 11, maybe even 12 with Pickard here. He's done an amazing job though as well. A little bit of lockup for the Haas there, as TTU by made a little bit of a mistake with the lockup. That's going to send the Haas driver Woozy past. He's going to go right forward, a nice send on the right-hander. And he's going to make the position overtaking with the driver behind. Now, I forgot to put up the telemetry again. I hate when they do this. But anyway, we can look at the sector times. We can see the positions. So we can also check how many stops they've done. No drivers, of course, have done any stops. We've got a few drivers starting in the medium tyres here. AAT Daniel is going to set the fastest time. I think the Mercedes driver up ahead. Yeah, AAT Daniel is going to move up ahead of Leonard. Leonard's running a little bit low on the ERS there, but still. Is that meaning that Daniel's going to try to move over from this lead and the Mercedes driver going to take this victory? I don't know. We'll have to watch and stay tuned. Now following every other drivers, Danvo is still a little bit of a recorrection. He's almost in the gravel. That will move the Aston Martin driver up ahead of Mel's Marcus. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. I'm a little bit tired and I'm very sick. Anyway, we're going to move over to Poppy, the Tier 2 Mercedes driver. He's reserving for McLaren for tonight. Amazing exit down traction control. He's going into the nice right-hander here. I need to get up a thing. Not like I'm going to watch it, but anyway. Woozy is our first driver to receive a 3-second time penalty. That will be critical for their race now tonight. Everything in the time penalty around here, Austria and any other track is just so bad to have. This track is really one long DRS track. This is where the aero experts love to race. The people with the high downforce. Now he's not in the DRS of Woozy. We can actually look here's Thomas 11 F1. He's going to be our second driver to receive a time penalty. He is on DRS. He is charging the McLaren Rebel driver, but I don't think it's going to be right enough for him to catch up. Nice corner and a little bit tire striping towards the asphalt. Little bit recorrection there as well. He's pushing this car. Snow in the back here. This race has gone very terribly for me. I think they're in AI mode and I think they've given up. Anyway, Coward is now behind Thomas here. From being last now, he's actually started gaining on the cars up ahead. That might have been a track violation for him. But we see Leonard's taking back the lead from Daniel. These drivers cannot make any mistake taking each other out. They will give the perfect opportunity for Half Snow to catch up. Half Snow, as a matter of fact, is not in the DRS of the two Mercedes. He's got his clean little air bubble. Still got the dirty air, a small amount of dirty air. If ART Daniel and Leonard now just keep it as this, they will just be able to pull away from Half Snow. They can work here together as two teammates. Danvo is our third driver to receive a penalty. The McLaren driver, who in a matter of fact did qualify around the top 10, has received his first track limit violations. Now Leonard and Daniel are going to switch positions yet again. We've got a move here from the Aston driver who's going to move. Panda is going to move past Newton. Go off the ERS. He's going to try to gain a little bit more now. We can see, yes. He's got, yes, the Ferrari of New is going to look towards the inside of him. Danvo is going to be also overtaken. We got a yellow flag, and Pickard has been involved in another incident. The second Red Bull, excuse me, has been involved in another incident. Big racing here from Coward is just going to be pushed off wide by Thomas. That probably won't be said too much after the race, but we'll just have to see. The Red Bull locks up again. These two drivers are perfect to work against Thomas here. Thomas is going to have a look around the outside, but I don't think a move is going to be made. A little bit of contact between the two drivers. He is entitled to that space there, mate. But still, he's going to go, still keep the outside, and he's going to take the inside line for an amazing overtake, but still not done. A little bit pushed wide, and he's gone round. The V-Carb driver has been pushed off. Oh dear, oh dear. Woozy, second driver to receive a 3-second time penalty. That's not perfect. We've still got tight lead between all the drivers. Half Snow is now being targeted between Panda. Panda's not going to let this go. He's going to take that P3. He wants to stand on that podium for Aston Martin. The two Ferraris are charging right behind. He can try to use Half Snow as a little advantage towards these two drivers. But there's nothing much really you can do against the two charging Ferraris with running the custom special livery, in a matter of fact. We've got another retirement. I think that's Thomas now retiring. He's going to try to rather cause a safety car, or he's disqualifying himself. He disqualified for going the wrong session. Now, that's not right in my opinion. I think everybody should really retire in the pits, like what most leagues say they want to. He's actually got wing damage. We don't know the extended lead of his race. Now, Snow is still AI in this mode. We wish they would also retire as well. There's no point usually when the top drivers, they will receive DRS on the driver of snow. So Thomas did, of course, retire, but we don't want him to retire that way. That could also cause a safety car, and for a crucial 1-2 finish here for Mercedes, they would not want. Now, as we can also see on Daniel's POV, he is under-fueling for this race. He might have thought that there would be a safety car for this race. That would mean he will have to push as much as possible and try to regain the speed a little later on. Now, is this going to be a chance for Leonard to try to get past? I don't think Daniel is going to overly access a defense, but Leonard is going to go towards the inside. He is going to lift and coast a little bit through the corners. He needs to do that to make sure he doesn't underfuel this whole race. Half Snow still retains. We've got Poppy. We got Pickett who's running down low. There's Ink in the oh my god, in the kick. Sauber has received another penalty. I think this is the second penalty. One of the Red Bulls are struggling here a little bit. There's a yellow flag, but there's nothing crucial we can see here. Anyway, let's move over to the other drivers. We've still got Poppy here. He's running P12, almost in the points there. He is in the not in the DRS of the driver up ahead, but he's on the hard tyres, which means he can go longer on his strategy. Now, as a matter of fact, he will have the quicker tyre when he is underfueled. When he's lower fuel, less how can you say, less weight against the car. So now he's pushing the quick push, the hardest push on the hard tyres. Then moving over to the mediums, we might expect these hard comers to be flying. Now look at this. Half Snow has now gained the DRS, which opens the door for Panda and Newt to now finally get into the DRS. These guys now will have a race for top 1 between 5. We'll now race for the crown in Qatar, Louisiana. No, it's not Louisiana, is it? I might be all over the place. Anyway, anything else has happened? As Poppy receives a 3-second time penalty. They're running a bit further behind here, 2 seconds towards the hat, and about 4 seconds to their teammate up ahead. For Poppy being in tier 2 here, is doing a magnificent job, to be honest, being P12. It's a fierce competition, and then again, tier 3 and tier 2 are not high, but look at that. He's almost right behind the hat. No, he's not. 1 minute. He is quite close. Woozy is another driver to receive a 3rd penalty. Sorry for that. But the Haas driver is struggling. Look at that lock up there. That will open Poppy to get the DRS on the following driver. Now, in a matter of fact, this circuit is, of course, a favourite for me. Mels, there we've got a spinner here as Dunvon has spun it and retired. Is that going to be a safety car now? He's left the session. Was there a contact between him? As we've got an Aston driver going straight ahead. He's lost it as well. There must have been crazy contact now. Oh dear. He's trying to retain it. But no, he's trying to get a safety car. Again. Very unnecessary, mate. Very unnecessary. Don't know why he's sitting there. I think it's trying to cause a safety car. We'll keep... I will let the admins know, mate, about that. So, just spin on. You can do your donuts. The season's not ended though yet. Anyway, we're going to follow now. Look at that. Poppy is now in P8. That's an amazing result for him for being tier 2. We're going to follow the other drivers up ahead a little bit more closely here. We are going to be following the driver of... just look at that. I like Formula 1. I do. But this racing is competitive though. I would love to race more ACC, and I do actually as well. Anyway, enough about me. We're going to be following Half Snow now, because look at that. He's very close to Mercedes driver, but look behind him. He's got the Aston and the Panda right behind him. And not about that, he's got the Ferrari as well. We're actually going to watch a mid-POV here from all of them. We got another yellow flag. I think it is the Aston trying to cause something. But we're going to tune in with Panda. We're going to tune in with Half Snow, who is close up to 2 Mercedes drivers. the Mercedes have put themselves in a little awkward position here now, with Half Snow on hards as well. He can gain an immense amount of time. We've got a few drivers going into the pits of Corwood and TT Ubai. And now in the pits, we're going to also come up close to the two retired drivers. Well, not retired, but one retired and the other one who's AI. This will give Daniel most likely. And look here, we got the driver parked up here now. He is going slow. That's causing more dirty air for the drivers ahead. And not only that, he is also causing it's a bit inconvenient and it's a bit rude, to be honest, but we're going to keep it biased. Anyway, we've got on the yellow sector, that's of course him. We're going to follow Poppy Johns, but then again, we want to follow Harpsnow, see what he does now. Leonard is off ERS, but he's still got Corwood is now another driver who's received a 3-second time penalty. I don't think they had one before. There's nothing we can actually watch. Yeah, there we go. We got the more penalty up for a little bit. As the harsh drive, Leonard pushes into the pit. It's going to be close to 80 there. He's going to now fall back. This will mean that the other drivers, Poppy, has been given a another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. For what, we do not know. But he's going to pass now Leonard as well, his fellow companion in the same team. Now on the other hand, we've got the Kicksauber as well going into the pits. Woozy going into the pits. But they've got a puncher. Look at that. That's the first punch I've seen in a long time in a league race here. They'll probably, if that's on purpose or if that was generally discussed after the race, we do not know. We'll just have to look. Now we got Corwood. We'll call him Corwood. I don't like. Pickard has received another. Has received a 3-second time penalty as we've got a yellow flag. The Aston is still rolling around. And he has got a puncher. A little bit sad, but we still got the top runners racing still. I've actually pulled up a track telemetry here now as well. Now, he is in the DRS, but Panda is very close behind. The Hash driver is also struggling with those hards. Well, you will do that generally. Now in the second hand, a few other drivers. Daniel's going to pull into the pits. This will be now a perfect opportunity for Snow to try to pull as much as possible. In general, they will have to. God damn. There, we got the tire strategy and all that. They will go a little bit longer. We've got a few, yellow flags and, the first couple of turns, the second one. Not going to pay too much attention of that. But look at that. Panda is losing a little bit of time towards Half Snow. That's critical. What the Mercedes driver is probably hoping for is that Panda, Half Snow, No Gens, which is not in the DRS at the moment, but Puppy Jun, look at that. They're up to P4 now. This strategy going hard to mediums has really worked out. Meanwhile, the rest of the drivers have done the medium to hard strategy. Another yellow flag. We've got the Aston still rolling around. He will probably get a stern warning after this, which, in a matter of fact, is a little bit annoying because we don't know if it's real or something like that. But we are going to follow Panda for a few laps. They have got the Ferrari. They actually did beat the Ferrari and overcut them, which is crucial as well. They'll not have to fight too much. They've got clean air in front of them towards the Red Bull of Pickard, who hasn't pit yet. Poppy John is not far behind. And then again, we got another yellow sector in Sector 2. It's just really annoying. Half Snow is going to go off the ERS. I think they feel comfortable doing that. I think now that Panda will jump off as well, the ERS, for these corners, not to burn the battery all the way. Got a punch in Sector 1. Yeah, we saw that, Woozy. It's really a shame, mate. It really destroyed your race, but what a contact between that. I don't know if you're retired. Yeah, I think you're still in here. Yeah, you're just been lapped by the Ferraris. TT Yuban is now receiving another 3-second time penalty. But Panda is getting close here now to Eversnow. Oh, Half Snow. I'm saying Eversnow. 10-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. They've probably given up now. Going to retire. Exactly that. Now, that's a bit of a shame. They were almost in the point, but a lot of stuff did happen. And this is what I mean. Look here. We're coming up to the Aston again, being lapped maybe for the 6th times. So, yeah, it's annoying to see. Generally. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to go with Panda here. Panda's right behind us. If Harp Snow makes the critical call to box now. They are staying out for another few laps. I think around about lap 16 they would box. So 12 laps on hards. They're 1 second off their fastest time is Panda. But Panda has used all their ERS up to try to catch. But look at that. Harp Snow's got more ERS. There's the TT Uban, who is sadly left as well. We got a yellow flag of the kick. Excuse me. Another driver who has gone off is the Aston Martin. Can't really see where they are. It's still them. It's I may excuse me. I don't really know what's going on half of the time here. But I think around about. Oh. Was that something I was going to see? Yeah, the Ferraris, I don't know who that is. That's the Haas. Haas is going to unlap himself. He is on quicker tyre. He's going for the fastest lap at the moment. And we got a lunatic on the track. We got a lunatic on the track. Got a puncher again. Imagine getting like 3-4 punches this race. Take a look at this guy. Yeah, or is that going to be a DNF? Nope, it's not. I mean, I don't understand what he's doing. He is a lunatic on track. He's like a Lance Stroll, in my opinion. We'll tell him. We'll remember his name, Lance Stroll. He's driving backwards on track. Now we're going to follow still Panda, who is, of course, still following Half Snow to take this lead of the race. And a matter of fact, from last time we looked, we've seen Leonard and Daniel have gained around about 3 seconds as Woosie gets another penalty hit for them. There's a bit of a shame, but everybody is behind. Woosie as well gets the fastest lap. That's amazing for the championship there. Leonard's going to make the move on Pickard now. Pickard's still going to hang on to it, but at the shame of the hold hard tyres, they're not going to be able to follow through. Now we can see Pickard and ART Daniel now. Excuse me, ART Daniel's now going to make a mistake. Pickard shows his frustration being behind the Mercedes now again. But those tyres are so weared out. There's the Aston lunatic of Lance Stroll again on track. The Ferrari's hot behind Pickard. He has to make the move here to get past Pickard. Otherwise he's going to lose DRS towards the two Mercedes. And his chance of winning this race could be slimmer than ever. Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll still follow him. Poppy Johnson gave in another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. They're a bit struggling there as well. The rears are sliding, but they're not off. They are off ERS until the straight. Now, are they going to pull in? No, because they're still on 14 old lap hards. I think they would go to lap 16 or even longer. The mediums don't burn out as quick, but if you take a look behind you, the interval between all the drivers says that Poppy Johns has 5 seconds behind him, around about 8 seconds behind him to the two Mercedes drivers. Now they will gain, he will lose time. But look at that! He's got a puncher! Poppy has got a puncher! Look at that! That's the 5th second proper puncher we've seen! He'll have to try to recover that. But we did not see that. They've gone too far. What about the two Haas drivers? Have they received punches? What are their tyre wears like? Because if they knew the Poppy and the Haas drivers already got... Poppy's got a puncher. What about their tyres? We would want to know their tyre percentage. Because all of the drivers on the hards, more or less, most of the drivers, top 3 at least, have gone on the same amount of tyre length. And a nice move there for Ink and Jürgen Battle, and the Haas pulls off to the side. But man, that's such a shame for Poppy's hard work though. As now Panda is going to go into the pit. Half Snow is still going to stay out, but those tyre percentages must be reeking now, begging, please, we want to change tyres now. We'll just have to watch him, see if he has a puncher. If he receives a puncher now, that will open a door for both Panda now, who boxed early, but both Mercedes are going to pass Panda, but it's not going to be far off. Is he going to be behind a Ferrari? Yes, he is, but absolutely not the Sauber. He will be on the quicker tyre compared to the top guys now. It will be a perfect opportunity to win the first race for Aston. And his teammate Lance Stroll has finally parked it up. The Haas has also parked it up. I don't understand why everybody's thinking it's a good idea to park it up nowadays. And he has made a critical move to pass Pickard. So he is in with the Mercedes driver again. We're going to go over to the leader. If Half Snow were to pit now, he maybe would come out ahead of the Ferrari. I don't think, because you lose around about 25 seconds here in this track going into the pit. But he's got a good distance now to the other Ferrari. The Ferrari's lost him no, but we're gonna go move over with. He's still staying out. What is his tyre wear like? Excuse me. We're gonna follow a load of other drivers up ahead. Panda is still behind, but look at that. Panda's right behind the Mercedes drivers and the Ferrari. No penalties here for this man, and he might bag a podium, let alone a win. The Ferrari of New is still going to go into. He's going to go into the pits now as well. Or it's going to be a send towards the first turn. No, there's going to be contact between the drivers, but Panda still gets through. That should be penalty. That should not be a penalty, but position should be given back. But look at that. He's right behind the Mercedes drivers now. This is crucial for the Mercedes. They boxed earlier. Remember, they boxed earlier. They lost time in their pit stop going on hard-medium strategy. Or medium-hard strategy. And look at that. He's getting quicker. He's got one purple sector, and he's right behind Daniel now. And there's his teammate Lance Stroll as well. Pickard, I think, also Nugent also battling behind. But we're going to focus on this driver. Because now the only thing is who we're thinking about is Half Snow. When is he going to make the crucial decision to go in? He's still staying out. As now ERT Daniel has been passed by Panda. Panda's on a rampage. We said this man will probably be quick after the few laps. He's got 10 laps on those mediums though. Don't know how long they will last. But 7 laps for Leonard. He's right behind Leonard. He's squealing those wheels. Leonard's going to try to break the toe, but that's going to not be enough. Low on the ERS. He's going to eventually just pull away. Leonard has a little bit more ERS to play around with. But Panda's ultimately going to try to gain more time. Poppy is still got a puncher. Don't know why they're still out on track, but anyway. Now, we're going to move over to the Mercedes driver again. He is lifting and coasting now. That's crucial for his try to get a podium here. He underfueled, thinking it was going to be a safety car. Panda's going to look towards the outside of Leonard. He's going to get pushed wide by Leonard. But Leonard's not going to give up the place. A little bit of wheel banging between the two drivers. Panda's going to look towards the inside. He's going to make the move, go past. And Panda is on the charge now to catch Half Snow. And Half Snow hasn't even boxed yet. He's seen that the driver who boxed before him is on a rampage trying to catch him. Now Panda's going to make the crucial decision to pass. He is going to slow right down. But is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough for Panda to get past? I think Heart Panda will retain P1 in this race. We're going to move over to interval again. Ink is not receiving another 3-second time penalty. But Half Snow is going to be close between the two drivers. Look at this. And Panda goes past in the pits. He overcut Half Snow. Half Snow is now released as well in the medium tyres. We know how good the medium tyres are around here after the second stint. But Half Snow has more to gain compared to Panda. Panda is released now to the open. 6 tenths towards the first Mercedes driver. And look at that, Daniel has now overcome his problem with underfueling and has a little bit more fuel to play around with. He just has to stay in the DRS towards Leonard, and this could be a sweet positions for Mercedes. But let alone for Panda. Panda will bring the first win, probably too. If he can pull this off, he'll bring the first move to none other than Aston Martin. But in a matter of fact, for championship, Mels has received another 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. If we move over to standings, Aston Martin have only had 12 points. There's a full sorry. There's a full course caution. Now, what do the Mercedes driver do? Do they stay out or do they box? They stay out. The hards should be okay. But for the other drivers, who else are going to stay out? We've got one driver pulling in. It's the Kick Sauber of Inc. Ing is going to pull in. The Ferrari is also going to pull in. Corwood is a little bit far behind to actually do anything now. Poppy is... half snow is left. Half snow is left. They've left. I can't be blaming my eyes. The Harsh drivers lost it as well. I don't know how many people have actually lost it, but this is crazy. Lance Stroll is out as well. They DNF. But there's a full course caution. The safety car is out, which gives a good opportunity. Most drivers go 10-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. Poppy has retired. Woozy as well. Another puncher. We've almost got lost with a load of drivers. This is a chaotic race. A little bit surprised by if this is tier 1. So everybody's just losing it. They're getting pissed off. Panda's still retaining the lead. He is leading the safety car pack behind the safety car. Now, if we take a look at this, if Panda were to win this, there would be an amazing point for, of course, none other than Aston Martin. They will most likely move up a few positions, but half snow, I think, have they DNF'd? I have a feeling a few drivers actually have DNF'd. And of course I don't even have access to... We got a few questions here. Another driver has left. I don't know what the actual hell is going on. But the two Mercedes drivers can now regain a think. They're on extremely extremely old tyres, a matter of fact. Look at that. 11 and 10 laps. The best thing were to be, they have confidence to gain. They should have gone down on the mediums. Newt as well. FZR Newt should have also done the same. I'm not sure about Half Snow. I think Half Snow did retire in the end. I'm very unsure who's actually in the lobby now. Because it doesn't say if you're AI mode or not, which is extremely stupid. Very stupid. Of course, the snow is in the middle of the pack. This is another problem with safety cars. When you're AI, it's... depending on where you're on the track, doesn't matter if you're... They don't reorder in positions. That's only when you have a red flag and a rolling start. Now, on the other hand... This is crucial for drivers behind, which consisting of the second Ferrari of Newt and the Kick Sauber. They will lose a load of time since the AI are designed to just be slow. That's how it is. The AI will naturally slow down, and a gap will be formed between Half Snow, who is he AI? I think he is generally AI. I don't know. I generally don't know. But anyway, we've got an exciting race now for the top 3 runners. The safety car is still not out. In. Safety car is in this lap. Very late call that. Now, we're going to follow Panda. Since Panda is in P1, Leonard can't wait to get over with this. He wants to get past. But, is his tyres going to be enough to catch? I think Panda's going to decide to go, and we're going to have another boogity. Let's go racing, boys, as Panda got an amazing start, caught Leonard sleeping a little bit. Daniel's also hot behind. The Ferrari is behind, but not too far. And Leonard's going to try to go around the outside. Nothing's going to be made out. It was almost a George Russell move there, where he would have caused a caution and crashed out with Lewis Hamilton from a few years. Leonard's going to let Daniel pass to try to gain, because Daniel, of course, is on the lap of old quicker tyres. But now, Half Snow is actually not out. Half Snow is still racing, and he's been let out by the Ferrari. And now he has the 2 Mercedes, and then he battles his main rival for this race win. Look at the traction there between Half Snow and Leonard. They're going to go almost wheel by wheel. Half Snow is going to look towards the outside, not make a move. Leonard is going to try to slow the other drivers behind. You saw that. This would be crucial to try to get Mercedes on the podium here. After the amazing qualifying from the Mercedes drivers, they're ultimately struggling on these tyres now. Maximum they can get is a maybe the podium for this race. The podium is the 3rd position. And in the meanwhile, Leonard and Daniel are slowing down the driver of Half Snow. Panda is running away with the victory. Amazing strategy call from the Aston Martin team here. If it was the Aston Martin team, if it wasn't Panda's own decision. Now DRS is activated for next lap, but Leonard is ultimately going to go a little bit slow. He's going to go into the inside and defend his position, and it's going to be a sick move. They're going to drag race, and Half Snow is going to make the move. What a fine move into turn 1 now. This man is not going to give up, and he's going to have a go at Daniel in any second now. He has to make the move as soon as possible, so he doesn't let Panda run away with the victory. It's between V-Cub and Panda. The Mercedes are also in contention, but on all the tyres. Their tyres will start to even out the further we go with the race. We've got the 2 Red Bull drivers battling towards the top Ferrari driver. They're in the Ferrari sandwich on the other hand, with Newt not quite behind, very close behind. Behind him is Ink. Snow is going slow. Woozy is of course going slow as well. No punch for them. Woozy is going another time penalty. We're not going to focus on them too much. We're going to focus on the one guy we're actually focusing on. The gap between race win and Half Snow. Half Snow very close behind. He will have the DRS here to help him get past. Now as Newt Not has made a move on Pickard, we're going to go back to all the way back to the main guy, Half Snow. He's going to have the amazing DRS, amazing everything, and he's going to make the pass on Ita Daniel, setting him loose now on Panda up ahead. He's on the fresher tyres. This will be a fine racing between Panda and Eversnow now. Half Snow, excuse me, I'm thinking about Everlong the song. Excuse me. Now this doesn't mean that the Mercedes driver of course are out of contentions. They're still old on tyres, yes. But if something happens, Leonard receiving a time penalty. That's so bad for his race now, considering he's got every single driver in the pack behind him. Little bit of a recorrection there for not. And he's going to go for a sick move towards the inside, sending it absolutely into turn 7. What a move from the Ferrari driver. Told you these guys were absolutely killing it out on track. Few did, except for Lance Stroll. Anyway, we're not going to bully him as much, but look at that. The time has decreased. Half Snow might yoink this win from Panda. This would be crucial for the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' standings, but he is in DRS. Now, Daniel is, of course, quite far, but there's another full course caution. The Mercedes driver needs to make a critical move to box. Daniel is making that move. It will be time. The Mercedes drivers are going into box. The rest of the drivers are going to stay out for track positions. But with the two Mercedes now on soft tyres, What is that going to lead to? They're going to double stack as well. We're going to go down to Leonard, who just barely coursed out. The tyres have been set now. There we go. He's not going to lose any track position due to placements in the pits, but he will ultimately lose the Ferraris who are up ahead, and also the Keck Sauber. Now another course caution, don't know why, but Leonard is going slow. He might get beaten out by Corwood. No, Corwood's in the pit. Snow will be ahead. Woozy got another 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Don't know what actually they are deciding to do. This will most likely be hefty talks between drivers and TP. Now, Woos is not more than half a lap down, more or less a lap down. Considering destroying all the braking points is okay, but it doesn't care. Cheers. I will be sending those into the FIA, by the way. I don't like that type of stuff because I'm a little guinea pig. Not a guinea pig, but a good boy. Anyway, now this is another contention case. Plus pick good behind, remember, to catch the top guys. Again, Half Snow's tyres aren't all bad. They're 6 laps old. He will have around about 9, 8, maybe even. I think the safety car will be in. Oh, Panda is thinking about making a move. Poppy has left the session now. He was watching a few laps. Leonard and the Mercedes drivers are deciding to make a change. Same goes for Red Bull, because Corwood is deciding to pull into the pits extremely late, but he will of course have the freshest tyres on track. On the other hand, Pickard is behind the Williams driver. I wonder if I could allow him to pass. No. I find that extremely wrong. AI drivers should not be in the pit box there. I find that very wrong, because this ruins the racing for the top drivers who actually do want to stay in race. Now, the critical thinking here of Panda. Panda is of course on 10 old. The medias would last around about 7 laps around here and then decay. We're going to have probably 2 laps of racing. If we just have one, that move from the Mercedes driver was not as good. We've got a driver, I'm not sure with Kick driver, we're going to follow into his POV. He's going a little bit slower than Mercedes. I'm not going to call that out on anything else, but of course I would like to have a good gap between the drivers behind. Now, excuse me for my eating, but yeah. Now safety car is going to go into this lap. Medic Moose is going to go into the... they're going to warm up their tyres. Mercedes drivers will have to get past so many cars. Newt will be the slowest driver probably on track. No offense, with the older tyres, they did do well, but we're going to go into Panda. We're going to go into broadcasting mode. We're going to turn the pit box down. And we're going to follow Panda on how he defends off against both Half Snow, then Newt as well, maybe even Ink, but the 2 Mercedes drivers who have to make moves critically. Panda's going to decide to go again, but look at that, Half Snow is right on the inside. Oh, he's going to leave it to the last minute. Panda is going to go now for it. We're going to have the first restart of this, the second restart of this race, but the third, of course, third proper start. Half Snow is going to look towards the outside, and he's going to make the move around the corner, what he did a few laps ago. But it's going to be a battle between Panda going into turn 2, and Half Snow takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Oh my, Leonard is going to, a little bit of contact between Leonard and the Red Bull. The Red Bull goes flying up towards the side, but Daniel is still behind as well. Daniel can at least recover some position for Mercedes here. But we got Half Snow leading the race, leading round 6, the Qatar Grand Prix. Leonard's going to make a move again on the Red Bull, but he's going to ultimately get knocked to the side by the Kick Sauber. One that will be said after, again, what will be said after the race. Now Leonard's going to be released. Daniel is going to be even more released now towards Panda and the top runners. Half Snow has got one more lap to keep the two Mercedes drivers behind. Leonard's not having the best of racing, but he is ultimate. That's so. It should be his position there. It's so wrong. He should have his position there. Leave space there, lads. Come on now. Now Daniel is right behind. He's going to look towards Panda, and this race could ultimately lead towards Snow winning it. Because look at the gap that Snow has compared to EAT Daniel. EAT Daniel 2 seconds up. Newt is still going to battle with Panda. Leonard's not far off. They're slowing Leonard ultimately down. Leonard should have made a bit more moves up, but he couldn't do because he had problems with Pickard. He is going to look towards the inside. Don't drive recklessly now, Leonard. 1.7 seconds to Daniel. Is it going to be enough for Snow? Did Snow's strategy pay off in the end? Even though with 2 safety car restarts, going from hards to mediums, he's got around about half a lap to go. Daniel is in hot pursuit behind. He's not going to let this go. This is a pedal to the metal. Final few corners is now. Newt's going to get past here. Leonard's going to be open up to the Ferrari. This could be a 2 straight from Mercedes here, which will be a good crucial positions after the immense catastrophe of everything. Now, Daniel's ultimately also probably going to see the final lap, but this might be enough for Half Snow to take the lead. The man who started so far back, started P3 for this race, is now going to look towards the checkered flag, and he's going to wait for V-Carb yet again. What a race from Half Snow there. Daniel's going to ultimately come P2. Leonard's going to drop down a few positions, and that's race over with a race winner Half Snow taking it all from P3 on the grid. Amazing job from that man there tonight. Typical. The Italian driver did win it. Amazing stuff. If he's Italian, I think he is. But amazing stuff from them. And a good recovery there from Daniel as well. He did an amazing strategy. We're going to move over to the standings. Here we got the driver awards and also just all around everything. We got Half Snow winning the race. Fastest lap goes to Daniel. Driver of the day, of course, Pickard. Understandable. Most overtakes to Pickard as well, and the cleanest driver all around is Newt. Understandable. And again, we're going to go over to the standings here. Half Snow wins the race. Very good strategy from him. Daniel comes in P2. Panda P3 after the recovery there as well. Newt comes in P4. No comes from P4. Newt comes from P5. Leonard, after many penalties, gets dropped back down to P6 after an amazing qualifying there for him. Pickett P7, Coward P8, P9 go for Inc, and the Swedish driver of Shu, of course retired, will ultimately end the race results, or in technically the last final car to end the race, excuse me. Now, again, lots will be said after the race tonight. I think it was a bit hit and miss. A bit people who stayed out and shouldn't really have done. I don't find that fair. But anyway, I was your host, Cooler Deadpool. I would thank also PRL for letting me commentate for this round. It was an amazing blessing thing to do. I like my commentary. I also do commentaries in other leagues, but I won't mention them because of I don't want to mention other leagues. And I would thank you all for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a nice evening, and I'll see you next week for the 7th round, which is in Singapore. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you next week.